There are 3 players who got eliminated from the match. Great job, my friends. The consolation prize is that you no longer have to play bad video games. So, in a way, you really did win. Seriously, I'm always sad that people get eliminated, but that's just how tournaments go. We gotta start chopping. Chop, 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 chop. Clades, thank you for the resubscription and for supporting the channel. This makes a huge difference for me, the support that people give here, and allows me to keep doing the tournament and other shows full time. Now, we have 3 more games today, and we also have 4 games tomorrow. It is a busy weekend. Crappy, take us to the game reveal, and let's find out who is going to be giving it out. Well, everybody, your prayers have been answered. Unfortunately, it's Satan answering them because it's Jeff coming to give out a game. Jeff, come here. Hello there, Jeff.
Hello.
Yeah, I just let people know that we prayed and Satan got back to us, and now you're here. So that's pretty cool, huh?
Yeah. So I want to read you an entry from my journal, dated November 1st.
Okay.
So right after Halloween. I wrote this, it's almost 5 a.m. I've been up all night, mostly going through news archives. Been obsessing about one article I came across. It was in a section about video games and said only simple and addictive, followed by an address. It was credited to a Dutch man whose name I did not recognize and couldn't find anything about. But the address would hopefully unlock the mystery. The address led me to a cemetery, which seemed unfortunate at first, but after walking around, I found a sign that said games. Venturing deeper into the cemetery, there were several markers covered in debris. None looked particularly notable, except one. Had a small cartoonish drawing of a young girl. I wiped the dirt off the marker and it said, "Banned from every site." That was all I needed to know. I started digging with my bare hands. It took hours, but eventually I unearthed a rather unremarkable box. Inside the box, there was the rotting remains of a girl, nay, a monster. Without pausing to think prudently, I packed the monster in my vehicle and took it back to the lab, where I began to experiment. I placed electrodes all over it and tried to bring it back to life. Soon there were some writhing movements, but it didn't look quite right. Kept adjusting the settings until I finally had a eureka moment. The monster came alive. No, it was not the monster. It was a zombie version of what had once been a monster. I asked the monster if we could play. It sounds weird to say it now, but that's my passion. Playing with zombie monsters. Usually they're happy to play, but this one said, "No, I will break you. I'm sorry, but I can't help it." I told the undead beast to do his best. He did. I've now experienced and present to you flower power. I understand why it was banned from everywhere and tossed in a grave buried deep in an unmarked location. I didn't think I could share it with anybody, but I was finally convinced by some of the other GMs because, I'm still tormented by the cries of agony from those I subjected to Revenge of Kong.
Yeah, they cried a little bit. Flower Power, this is a game that I've seen played a few times, and I love that oh no! I think that was Blasphemous Roar crying.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of crying.
Yeah, here's the deal. I watched some people playing it last night, or the night before, I don't recall. All nights blend into one when there's flower power involved. But from what I know, this is not the most pleasant game in the world. It's not... What do you mean by it's been banned from every site, though, Jeff? Is that real?
That is real. This was somewhat of an allegory. I'd been going through Usenet archives looking for people announcing games they had made, and I found one, and the person said, This game I made has been banned from every site I submitted it to. Is it really that bad? Question mark. And then I went on a search of no longer in existence websites until I finally drilled down and found a version of it where I could download this game.
I love that. Part of your story was that you had to resurrect it. Like, did the game work when you found it?
No, it took a lot of tweaking. It was not programmed well.
Really? I can't imagine that would be true. So it took a lot of tweaking in order to get working, but we've got it. This is a DOS game, right?
Yes.
Okay, good, because that's exactly what I put on my layout here, that we have DOS game Flower Power. There are a lot of exclamation points in this. Oh, thank you, by the way, Jeff, for resubscribing. Thank you, Crease, and Clades as well for the support there. I think I'm going to need at least emotional support for this game, because this may be a nightmare.
No muting. Nobody mute.
I won't mute.
Okay, no, I'm talking to the chat.
No
okay. Muting.
Well, I mean, if you are a Brosentia fan, you can't mute. That's sort of the truth. Yeah. Honestly, the music's fine.
Oh, it's fine.
Let me turn it up a little bit. There we go. I don't like this. Never mind, it's not fine. Okay, but here we go. Like, this is a really groovy game for all you boys and girls out there, and in here. I don't know what that means. Like, you're this really cute person, Girly. I want it to be Gerby, though, who, oh my gosh, this font is impossible to read. Let me pull it up here. Who just wants to pick. Okay. Who just wants to pick some flowers, like, for her rich old granny. Sick old granny. Dig? Oh.
Dig.
So you move around, like, with the keys that say home or save or end or page down.
Or page down.
Whatever that is. Hippie. Uh-oh.
And then underneath it, it says, you learn very little from this story, so here's the real info. Girly runs on flower power. With every move, she loses power, so you have to collect flowers to keep her going.
Yeah, and as far as I know,
lose a life.
This is impossible to read. So what I understand is that numpad, essentially you're using diagonal controls in order to move.
I didn't use numpad. I used the the 6 little keys between the numpad and the keyboard.
It's absolutely going to be made for numpad diagonals.
But yeah, I mean, that works too. I just found those are too far apart for me.
I've played a lot of games using those buttons, so I've played a lot of roguelikes where I use the numpad to control a lot, so I'm more used to it. Other people, if they've never done that before, are probably going to struggle. Okay, I think 3 out of 4 players are ready. Yeah, Not Electa just says that the only problem that they have with the music is the clicking. That's understandable.
Yeah.
Okay, and all the players are ready, so everybody, I need your best hippie emotes. If you have anything that is vaguely hippie-esque.
Or flowers.
Flowers. Well, that's hippie-esque. Flowers and powers, okay? Go ahead and spam those, or anything super groovy. Yeah, the girl's not a hippie. How do you know she's not a hippie? You don't have to dress like a hippie to be a hippie.
I mean, she talks like a hippie.
She does, kind of. Yeah, spam, because the countdown is happening. Spam, spam, spam. This is the one time that, well, I mean, I can encourage anybody to spam. Recursioning, thank you for the sub. Let's go ahead and spam. But not actual spam, okay? Not, I don't know, if you want to mail me some spam, I like it. It's tasty. Good with rice. Spam
Have
and
you
rice.
had some of the weird spam flavors?
Not really weird ones. Okay, here we go.
Somebody didn't follow my instructions.
What were the instructions?
They were supposed to change the core. Yeah, so not elect.
Well, you may wish to ping them if they didn't follow the instructions. Go ahead and bother not Electa. But yeah, it looks like the other players are probably doing okay. Unfortunately, the police attacked the girl and it was censored, and I really don't like that. Oh my gosh. Yeah, like, it seems like everybody's... I think Jumi may be the same case as well, like, because Rhythm Bastard and Mazre, the police officer is moving at the same speed. Jumi, yeah, I think that it would be good. Welcome to Kusog7ande, everybody, where occasionally the settings are not exactly what the players were supposed to do, and they will get it figured out. Power failure. How do you get a power failure?
So when you run out of power, you have a power failure. A failure of power.
Okay.
So the flowers increase your power. There is eventually going to be a 4-leaf clover. Oh, there's one on Rhythm Stream, and that fully restores your power.
Okay, so apparently you need to check Discord and make sure that, like, things get sorted there, because apparently Not Electa's core was set to normal, like you had asked, but it's still running at a different speed. Yeah, this is so fast. Yeah, I have to wonder if there's some issue with cycles being a little bit different for the players.
I mean, they'll have cycles set to max. Is it possible that changes on different people's computers?
It really shouldn't, if it's going through DOSBox.
Right.
Yeah, or DBGL. If it's going through DBGL, then it shouldn't be an issue. But yeah, that's definitely way too fast. This is going to be... Yeah, so it's fine if we need to give some of the players a little bonus time, or just let them know. We can just ping them and let all of the players stop playing for now. If you would like, because I'd rather have us all start, like, with the game functioning correctly.
Sure, I'll do that.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pause the timer, and we're going to have a full restart. So feel free to ping all of them. This music is rocking. Welcome everybody to Kusog7ande.
Yeah, that's what I was saying with the tweaking that needed to be done, because there were some issues with the programming.
Yeah. Okay, I'm heading back to the game reveal here. Yeah, Crappy, go ahead and take us back. And I will free y'all from this music for a little while as we get this sorted out. Welcome, everybody. It wouldn't be, it wouldn't be Kusog7ande without, especially if it's a DOS game. We just had the battle theme for Willow. No, stop playing the same music. Go to something else, YouTube. I'm gonna kick your butt, huh? How about this? This is a good one.
Hey, bro. Hey, Jeff.
Yeah?
Yeah?
Do you know what else is really good about blind racing and stuff?
What?
Mystery tournament.
Oh! I was actually gonna ask where we can sign up and how long signups are open for, but unfortunately, Blasphemous Roar just wanted to say something and run away.
I'm just going to take a moment and do some tech support. And you can maybe tell some stories about Utah.
I'm actually sending some info that might help here, so give me a second.
Oh, great.
Okay, so I'm asking right now if they can send us screenshots of their current settings for the game. That way we can go ahead and do, simply put, it is helpful for us to see, it's just helpful for us to be able to see that.
On November 18th, you can sign up at mysteryfun.house.
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 Oh, I can hear myself.
You can because I'm not on my headset yet because I wasn't intending to do this, but then you all had technical difficulties, and I was going to jokingly be like, I'm replacement Jeff. I like vegetables and DOS games, but then I realized that people should sign up because it's almost sign up time.
Yeah. Okay, so Corndan is currently recommending 20,000 cycles. I'll
go ahead and leave now so you can do tech support.
Yeah, thank you so much. Tech support. Everybody, Mystery Fun House, okay? Yeah, so what I'm telling them to do, go ahead and set that to 20K, the cycles. Because apparently 60K might be a little bit too undoable for some people. Yeah.
Yeah, that's too many cycles.
That's a lot of cycles. And I want to see the police officer jumping around and being like, wee!
Well, I can also read the second page of the lore that we haven't gotten to.
If you would like, go ahead and share that with the class. Okay, not Electa. The speed is the same as Mazre, and Rhythm Bastard Jumi is the only one whose speed is not right.
Well, 3 out of 4 is pretty good.
Okay, so I'm trying to get their attention and see what they can do. I think they may have missed the 20,000 cycles message and put 60,000 because welcome to coordinating with multiple people, the game. It's always difficult. Yeah, read me some story. I want to hear screen number 2.
It says, beware of the bad lieutenant.
No!
There is this really uncool police person, Officer Vic. And he has like this bad habit. He likes to chase girlies who only want to pick flowers and do nasty things like violence and arresting and all. So, keep out of his way, dig?
Dig. Okay, dig. See,
Yeah.
I didn't hear dig when you said that. I was a little bit worried.
Dig.
Yeah.
Stay away from Officer Vic. If he catches you, you lose a life. Pressing space will rotate all squares around you. Well, they're not really squares, but you get the idea. If Vic is not too close, collect bonuses for extra points. Power or lives, and above all, have fun.
Yay, fun. Okay, I'm gonna have fun.
This game is fun. I'll give it that.
It is flower power. Bam, 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 bam. Yeah, have fun optional. That is actually, I feel like have fun derogatory is what this game is. And I think all of the players are at the same-ish speed.
Fingers crossed. Everybody's at 20k now.
Okay. Yeah, from what I can see, everyone's the same. So let me go ahead and get transition back over there. Perfect. Well, what can you say when you're digging up a game that was banned everywhere and bringing it to Kusog7ande? Sometimes things like this happen where we have to do some troubleshooting. But I'd rather do troubleshooting right now than just not be able to get it sorted.
All right. So this is going to be a score attack. So this isn't really to anybody's particular advantage, like that they've gotten to a further level at this point, since they're all starting over.
Yeah.
So it looks okay to me.
Yeah, I'm just gonna ask if they're ready.
Ooh, do we get to reset the clock? This is going to be great.
Okay, so here we go. I'm right now. I'm trying to find out. As long as I get to the space to play screen, that should be fine. The people are resetting the game. We're getting some jams. I'm trying to find out from Corndan if the bot is going to break if I set the time to 60 minutes. Corndan's not responding. Jeff, help me! I'm stressed.
I'm sorry. You can blame me.
Jeff, I blame you. And listen to this music. Okay, everybody, get all of your coolest emotes again and spam those. Okay, try number 2, and I don't know if I'm gonna break the bot. Okay, I'm letting them know that. Okay, here we go. We're doing the countdown. Spam all of your coolest emotes, and we're gonna get started. Okay. And if the bot breaks, then I'm gonna go ahead and tell them just ignore whatever. Ignore me. Ignore the bot, because it might not work, right?
The cradle will fall. And down will come baby, cradle and all.
Stupid baby. Take that, baby. thank you for all of the cool emotes, everybody. And we have a race.
We're racing. We're off. So you collect flowers. As you can see, the maze changes randomly. And when you hit the space bar, you can make the ones around you change, but it uses a lot of your power.
Yeah.
So in these early stages, that's fine. But as you progress, you're going to have to just wait.
Gotcha.
You're just going to have to, because, you know, if you're not patient and use the space bar, it will use up too much of your power. Jumi's zooming already to level 3.
Can you tell based off of the background what level they're on?
Yes.
Cool.
Although this is by score, so assuming we can read the font, that's how we'll be measuring it.
Barely.
So the reason for the score attack is there are some bonus points that come up, and I want to incentivize people to collect those and play a little bit more risky by doing that.
Oh, I see the 100-point bonus.
Yeah.
I do
People
have
aren't
to
going
want.
people aren't going to be able to farm those because you don't get extra power from collecting the points. So if you just sit around and collect points, you're going to run out of power.
So here's my question. Why does it say flower power behind Jumi's stuff?
You know, the game sometimes doesn't erase the HUD, and sometimes it does.
Gotcha.
Like, I don't know. It just...
Yeah, and from what someone is saying in chat, Jumi apparently died while not on the same tile as the officer, and I assume this game has some problems. Hence the reason it's been banned everywhere.
Yes.
Yeah. This is
I kind of think
hideous.
the music is why this got banned everywhere, but...
I kind of feel that as well.
How is Jumi going so... Everybody's going so far.
This game, like, how long is this game, Jeff?
I don't know. I didn't get this far. Like when I was... I don't know why everybody seems to have like a lot more power than I... Oh, okay. Jumi got a power failure. But the thing is, like I got through to like level 6, I think. And then ran out of lives. But then you have to restart from the beginning. So...
Yeah. But yeah, this is a score attack. We're basing this based off of their best score. So don't worry too much about the linear progress. Pay attention to the points that they have if you can read that, because I am struggling myself. But Mazre right now has 1,900 points.
Mazre seems to have been farming points really well.
Yeah, like... Farming points may be better than most other things, like actually trying to play this game. And sometimes that's just the case when it comes to video games, you know? Mazre getting the flower and possibly, like, jumping into the police officer at the very same time. I hate this. Okay, I'm starting to understand why this music is bad.
We're 4 minutes in. Yeah, you're going to be listening to the same thing for an hour.
I'm fine. It gives you occasionally a break from the who's and the he's. Like,
so let me... Go ahead.
At least Glover, like, with the weird hooting music stage, it doesn't assault you with the hoots. It's just every once in a while, like every minute or two, you get the That's my favorite part of the song that I'm thinking of.
That's a good part.
Yeah.
So let me tell you a little bit about the developer. His name is Ramco de Corta, and he was a teacher for a very long time and focused on educational games, and currently runs a company, or founded a company called Unwise, which means unwise, which is sort of a weird name for a company. But he had observed that while computers had become increasingly common in classrooms, there wasn't a lot of good educational software. So he set off to do that. But he also made a few games, and they were mostly simple puzzle games.
Okay.
This is the worst of them. The others are just pretty simple. I mean, but there's nothing really innately wrong with them.
Okay.
I don't know what he was thinking in making this.
Well, let's see. From what I see he also had a company called Easy Media. He has some comics about rats, but the rats are like all naked. I mean, I actually like. I think that's fine. You can go ahead and have naked rats. It's fine. I'm not sure. Rats are normally naked. Like, that's how rats are, you know?
Well,
It's not Brian Swords of York, okay? It's not the same person. This is a very different artist, Ramco de Court. Yeah.
I checked with a Dutch speaker ahead of time to make sure I could pronounce it correctly.
Cool.
But, you say naked rats, there's actually in biology a thing called a naked mouse, which means a mouse that has no fur. They're like genetically knock out the genes for fur.
Yeah. There's also a naked mole rat. There's Sphinx cats. I used to think Sphinx cats were hideous, but then I started watching like a lot of videos from a YouTuber named Strange Eons, and she has a Sphinx cat and another cat that essentially looks a lot like a Sphinx cat, and they are the most adorable cats. Okay, they're great. I don't remember the name that she gave her cat, but everybody just calls him Bingus.
Bingus?
Yeah, he looks like a goblin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
cat goblins.
Yeah,
that's great.
Not Electa is doing a lot of planning to try to not run out of power, but apparently it's really hard.
Yeah, it does. As the levels go on, you really have to plan out what you're doing.
I
feel
don't
like
this.
there's just a lot of levels, because the only difference between them is the backgrounds and like the amount of power that you're given. So, or I guess how much power it takes when you move. So could go on for a while. There's also you can get an additional life. There is occasionally like a heart will pop up.
Okay. What the crap? I don't understand. I'm okay. I'm just looking at like this comic that the guy wrote, and like this rat goes to a doctor and is like asking about some problems, and then asks, "What zoo you doing, doctor?" Which I think it means, "What are you doing, doctor?" And he just says, this is the punchline. It says, "shopping." And I think that's either, depending on the translation, it's either a spade or it is beer. And I guess it's funny. No, it's SCHOPPEN. That, okay.
Yeah, no, that sounds like one of them New Yorker jokes, which aren't really funny, but they're just kind of like, haha.
Haha. Yeah, let me see. Or just like one of the, well, I mean, there's a whole comedic styling for like, you know, having the unexpected pop up. Let me see. Doc der ich heb been,
Wow, you are destroying the Dutch language.
Thank goodness. It is already destroyed. Like, there are parts that are close enough to English that I can understand a little bit. Okay.
So some of the other projects that he worked on, his website was still up until 2021. I don't know why it went down, but he had a thing called DigiKids.
Okay.
And among those, and then he also had a project called Miffy, which featured Miffy for children aged 2 to 4. I don't know how you make games for 2-year-olds, but apparently he did.
I mean, have you seen the Nintendo? They tried to make games for anybody. Yeah, like for 2-year-olds, I think at about that age, they might be able to play some very rudimentary stuff. But like, as long as you don't die or have like game overs or like have anything more complicated, like Color a Dinosaur. You might be able to let a kid, like a 2-year-old, play Color a Dinosaur. Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
I could see that.
So essentially, okay, this comic that I'm reading with this naked mouse is that she shows up at the doctor complaining that her husband hurt his back and now he's acting like God in the house, just complaining about everything. And then...
Is that what God really does? Just complains about everything? Sure.
Yeah. Let's see. Mi man dus guet I mi op die grond. Throws you... Oh no, every time he throws my man, he throws me on the ground. Oh no, this is violent. Oh, this is not good. And hits me. What the crap am I? How is this a comic? Okay.
How is this a game?
I don't know.
This is who I want teaching school children 2 to 4 years old.
And then he's okay. Yeah. Yeah. Husband hurt his back and is not doing anything. Every time he throws me, man, he throws me on the ground and beats me black and blue. And that can't go on like this, can it? That is a little dark. Okay, so the rat's like this. The guy who made this, he made a comic about this woman who is basically a victim of domestic abuse. And she's like, this can't go on, can it? Let's see. And that's how they end up with back problems, right? Because of how much he's beating her. Okay, so she's at the doctor complaining about how her husband has back problems and can't work, and that he hits her a bunch, and that's how he keeps injuring his back. The 80s are messed up, everybody. I do not like that. And then... And she asks, "What would you do, doctor?" And the doctor responds, "Drink." Okay, so that is the
awful
joke. This is like... And he made games for 2-year-olds? That's what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Apparently that is... Yeah, he was shopping.
He was Educational Innovator of the Year.
Educational Innovator of the Year. I mean, okay, the 80s, maybe you can get away with, like, really kind of dark humor like that and have it published in a newspaper. Sure, whatever. I'm not going to go ahead and boss the 80s around because that was a while ago. That was before I was born. That part, anyway. However, I think there are some less edgelord comics that you can write. Power failure all over. Oh no. And I would say that, like, hopefully his humor evolved from that point.
I hope so. It seems like he became a teacher after that point. I was also just noticing this DigiKids thing comes on 34 CD-ROMs. That's a lot of CD-ROMs.
34 CD-ROMs? How the crap do you need 34 CD-ROMs? In what world do you need it? What?
With all sorts of exercises for ages 4 to 12. So this is different than the Miffy one, which was 3 CD-ROMs for ages 2 to 4. And then Reckon ROM is 4 CD-ROMs with, quote, math exercises.
Oh my gosh. Maybe that's how the guy hurt his back. Too many CD-ROMs. Yeah, Q in chat is saying that's only 24 gigabytes. Do you remember what the 90s were like, though? A gigabyte was unfathomable. It was big.
Yeah. Yeah, the only thing I could think of, like, I guess you need a CD because you have, like, the audio tracks for a game. Once I got my first CD-ROM game, which was Secret of Monkey Island.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, I guess that makes sense.
I remember Secret of Monkey Island having multiple floppies, but like Final Fantasy VII was 4 CDs.
Yeah.
Yeah. 4.
But it actually filled them up, right?
Yeah, it did.
I'm not sure how he filled up 34 CDs.
Wait, someone is saying 3. Okay, it might have been 3. I also played Final Fantasy VII on PC, so it might have just been 3, but it's possible that the PC version was different. It was also not as good. It also gave our computer registry errors. That's how good the PC version was.
Oh, registry errors are never good.
No, they're not. Do you know how many times my father had to reformat the hard drive? A lot.
I remember those days.
Yeah.
Windows 95 and 98 were not really designed modularly. And so if you installed the wrong thing, it just broke everything.
Windows 98 at least didn't have registry errors when we tried to play Final Fantasy VII, okay? I'll give them that much.
I mean, on the plus side, you didn't need a special boot disk for it, like you did with a lot of DOS games. I had my Wing Commander boot disk because Wing Commander was insane to configure correctly.
That sounds about right.
I remember, this will only mean something to people that were gaming back in the DOS days, but I was trying to load everything through my config sys, and it was like, no, you only have 640K of memory. And my
Okay.
mom was like, well, we can just buy you some more. Like, no, that's not what that's not how that works.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Jeff. I'm hooting. But I'm actually really like Mazre is doing pretty good. Look at that. That's 2,500 points, I think. If I can read this crappy, the worst font. I'm very opinionated on that font. Oh no, censored stuff.
So this guy actually went to art school after this.
I mean, that's cool. Good job going on art school.
I mean, I have a feeling that from what it looks like from the website, he does really great work now. And this was just maybe some silly stuff he made a long time ago.
From which website?
From Unwise.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Unwise website.
It
is ONWIJS.
Yes.
But they've made 200 software applications. I don't know what that means. 200 apps.
That's a lot of applications. I can have Google translate this for me into English.
Yeah.
Yeah, stronger in healthcare and libraries and museums. I would say that there's a lot of artists honestly have a lot of growth over time, and it's good that this guy moved on from this really crappy game here to make stuff that has value. Hoo he. Oh my gosh. But this music is still killing me. Okay.
Yeah, I'm dying inside a little bit from it. And I played this a bunch before the match. And I made a few other GMs play it.
Yeah, by the way, he had two companies. There's Unwise, and then there was Easy Media. That I guess those are the two companies that this guy made. I don't know if I can find much information about Easy Media, but it definitely was something that existed. But they're closed right now, I'm sorry. They open, they're closed tomorrow as well. 8:30 a.m. On Monday, they will be open again. And apparently they made a chatbot. But that's the UK branch of it. So I don't know if that's even the same thing. It's spelled the same, but I don't know.
That's 3:30 a.m. here.
Yeah.
That's a good time to call.
I don't want to. Museums? Do they have museums? The museum touch table from Unwise. Educational, innovative, interactive, and very attractive. Ooh. You can unlock your collection in a simple and attractive way. What does a museum touch table, what is that? Okay. The Unforgettable Museum Table, the software developed by Unwise in collaboration with museums, makes art accessible to the elderly throughout the Netherlands. Aw, that's adorable. They also made a HoloLens. They made, they just made VR, I guess. And they have some stuff in museums that's just touch this and it'll show you a picture. I'm not sure, I feel like the internet does that. I'm not necessarily convinced that you need to have something in a museum that shows you stuff that they might not have there.
Well, what I've seen is sometimes there's like a digital display that supplements what you're looking at.
Oh,
so like
gives you
have a
additional information.
Yeah, like it could be like a portrait gallery, and you see the art, but then you get like a little explanation.
Okay, I got that.
I went to a bunch of art museums when I was in Amsterdam, but I don't remember seeing anything like that.
Oh my gosh, they've got basically the video gaming equivalent of Ouija boards. Let me see if I can share this with y'all, okay? Because this actually kind of looks interesting, I gotta be honest. Like, look at these children, they're like, we will touch the game. We play the game digitally.
Oh, neat.
Yeah. I wonder if you can talk to the dead with this software. That would be cool. But yeah, essentially, like, I mean, it's just a touch screen, but developing software specifically to work with a multi-person touch screen, that can be very, very difficult. Like, heck, even with phone apps and stuff these days, if getting more than one accurate finger touch on a screen at a single time, that's a little bit difficult.
Yeah, it seems like that's what the company specializes in, is being able to do multi-touch screens.
Yeah, that is having multi-touch on a single screen. I'm going to go ahead and say that good job. Good job if that's what they're doing.
Yeah. See, and this is good, if you are at a point in your career where you can make a game like this, make it. And one day, you may very well be running an extremely successful educational company doing all kinds of fancy things.
You know what? I already educated. I'm past that part of my life, Jeff. I'm a changed man who feels no need for educating.
Well, that's when you educate,
okay,
here's
here's the deal.
others.
Occasionally, like, the police officers, if he jumps towards the tile that you're on, even if you move, you're just done. He gets you.
Yeah.
And that is, like, one of the more annoying things. You want to be able to try to juke him, but it's just not going to be possible.
Police officer doesn't play fair.
No. Which is probably fine, because this game just, like, I think it might be a little bit too simple if he didn't cheat.
Yeah, that's possible.
Like, I mean, right now, the main challenges for me is looking at the game.
Listening to it for me.
Honestly, it hurts my eyes more than it hurts my ears. I really don't mind the music so much. It's weird, but it doesn't hurt.
That's fair. Some of these backgrounds do really hurt.
Yeah, like,
like the one on Jumi and Masre's screen is fine, but the one on Nodelecta and Rhythm Stream is...
There's a reason this guy had this game banned on every site.
Yeah.
Everywhere banned it.
Yep.
And by banned it, I mean didn't list it. I mean, I don't think it's banned per se.
Yeah, I mean, back then you would send like the webmaster a copy of your game and say, hey, I see your website has a whole bunch of shareware games or whatever. Can you add mine? And I think that people just said, I would not want to have your game on my site. Sorry.
Honestly, I would play this and I'd be like, would I put this on my site? Would I be... What kind of webmaster would I be?
On your site? Like, probably.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, like, compared to... Because I don't have anybody asking me to host their games on my site, would I host this? I feel like this would be a starting spot, and, like, I also don't... Here's my philosophy. Completing a game is more important than completing a good game. So if this is like the first game that you made, sure, I'll host it. I'll go ahead and put it up there. Bam. You're hosted. Flower Power officially gets my stamp of approval for being a game that is technically playable. Except, I don't like the censored part. That part worries me a little bit. Like, what is... Like, is it just violence? I hope it's just violence.
I mean, the lore says that he arrests you. He violently arrests you.
Okay. So if he violently arrests you, maybe that's fine.
Yeah.
But I feel like maybe just, like, having her explode might be better than censoring. Like, I'd rather see the violence than have it censored.
Yeah, that is a questionable aesthetic choice.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I guess it's...
Or maybe just have the box say she died or something like that. Like...
Why?
Like, I want to know... Like,
Like,
the unanswered question is more disturbing than anything that could... Well, okay, not anything. It's just that I don't want to live with this uncertainty of what happened.
I don't think there's a lot of uncertainty. I think the lore tells you exactly what happens, which is she's violently arrested.
Yeah. I guess, like, in other countries, there's a little bit more, like, censorship with violence. For US, like, random games being released on DOS, you're probably gonna have, like, heads exploding and, like, limbs, like, doing full, like, 720 kickflips and stuff. But, like, the stuff that we would censor is different. Yeah. Welcome to different cultures. Different cultures focus on different things for censorship. And that's why, like, the unknown answer here is not what I like.
Okay, I mean, you can keep calling something unknown even though it's literally spelled out.
Well,
but
I
sure.
mean, there, like, if you push her, that's violent. If you, like
Yeah.
give her a bomb and explode her, that's also violent.
Right.
And it's different.
Yes.
So it's like violence. I don't really, like, know the full degree of violence here.
I mean, she's being arrested.
There are also
exploded.
other violences that are worse than explode. Okay. Yeah. Anyways, blah blah blah. Whatever. We're playing Flower Power, and this music is weird. And then
So
you
what do
run
you
out
think
of
about
power.
the fact that I brought this back? Do you think this game should have rested in its grave?
No, absolutely not. This is a win for video game preservation.
I mean, that's my thinking. I just sorry that people have to play it.
Wait,
no, I'm not sorry.
No, play. Here's the deal. When it comes to video game preservation, the play element is just as important as the art itself. Movies, just because you preserve a movie, if nobody watches it, it's not really preserved. Art, if nobody sees it, it's not really preserved, it's archived. Games have to be played in order for it to be preserved, because, you know, without having that element of play, you're not going to be able to, like, actually experience what was made.
I mean, that makes sense. I just think that some people wish they were not the ones having to do the playing.
Well, I appreciate all of our players for participating in the act of art, like, preserving this video game.
No, but I definitely agree. I mean, I spend a lot of time looking for games like this that have no presence on the internet at all.
Oh, yeah.
And you have to just bring them back and have people play them. I actually think this game is fun. So, and it has an interesting concept. Like, I could see this game being made well and being like a cute little mini game or something like that. Like, you could, the the problem with having to sit around and wait for the maze could be fixed with better programming of it, so that it, maybe changes the maze part close to where you are. There's no real benefit to having it just completely randomly change it. But I do like the idea of having a changing maze where you use up some of your power to move it around.
Yeah, I actually think that's a really cool idea that has sort of been done before. I mean, Drelbs technically is a maze-like game that, rather than randomly changing, though, you're the one who goes around making the walls, and the walls end up breaking over time based off of some randomness there. It randomly destroys walls that have been made there. But honestly, the first time that you play Drelbs, it feels a lot more random the way that you create the walls around you until
Drelbs
you
is a
figure out the
great game.
rules. Yeah. See, the Drelbs is like this, but a lot better. However, there's similarities, okay? I'm sure there are other maze games with shifting walls. Right? There have to be.
Yeah, I'm sure, but it's not a common thing in the genre, so it's good to have some additional examples of it. And this is, I guess I think there's probably infinite levels in this, but this is going to be the first actual video evidence of people playing this on the internet. So I'm kind of excited about that. Maybe Twin Galaxies will have a scoreboard for it.
Yeah, look, Mazre has 2,600 points right now. I don't know if this is Mazre's best attempt. Jumi, on the other hand, has 3,400? Something like that.
Yeah, Jumi is on a really good run.
Yeah. Jumi is doing fantastic. Chad is asking why this is not CGA, and I'm a little bit concerned that CGA could actually be more viewable than this.
Yeah, I mean, at the time, it was really cool to be doing VGA graphics. That was really advanced. And I believe that this soundtrack is a mod file. So this is way more sophisticated than the MIDIs that a lot of games had at the time.
Yeah.
But sophisticated doesn't equal better. I mean, it's a better technology, but a poorer use of it.
Oh, I completely agree. I mean, heck, guess what? Unity is a better video game development system for indie and solo devs than a lot of other systems out there. But if you see everything that comes out of that, a better development system does not mean a better game at all. Power failure, Jumi. No, you're out of power.
Oh,
I am so sad.
Good run.
Very, very good run. Mazre currently making a good push as well. 3,100 points, 3,200. Hoo hee hoo hee hoo hee hoo hoo hee hee.
It's gonna be stuck in your brain during the week. You're gonna be hearing this.
Yeah. Apparently did someone get 4634?
Yeah, Jumi did.
Wow.
And just that most recent run.
No, okay. Welcome to my life. I'm never going to be able to keep track of who is winning. There are 200 people. Yeah, I bet there are more people watching this game right now than who have actually played this. 200 people are currently watching.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure that more than one person has ever played this. I mean, maybe the places that it was uploaded to, they tested it out before rejecting it.
I mean, other than the GMs, yeah. Because we
Oh,
did
right.
have various GMs try this game out to see if it felt appropriate for Kusog7ande, and I'm not sure if they necessarily said yes, but they definitely acknowledged that this was a bad game.
Yeah, I mean, but that wasn't really the part that I needed confirmation about. I wanted to make sure that it wasn't like completely broken, like it had some bug that was gonna make it not work. And I also wanted to see, like, does anything happen if you get a little further in the game? Nobody was willing to go very far in the game, though. Couldn't get anybody to play this for more than a couple minutes.
I wonder why. Actually, yeah. Welcome to Kusog7ande, where occasionally we just... Oh my gosh. I wouldn't say that this has been under-tested, because, you know, the game is still going and players are still getting higher scores. It's just, this is a little bit of an evil thing that you have done, Jeff.
Just a little bit.
And I like it. I like evil.
Yeah, I mean, you know, but here's the thing. I have a feeling that people are going to walk away from this match and say that they had fun. I mean, I guess it's going to be unfortunate for people who are eliminated.
Yeah, Chad,
12-point
as I don't know if we talked about the stakes here. 2 people are getting eliminated due to flower power. Honestly, I feel like getting eliminated via fever dream is sort of my life goal. Not necessarily other people's life goal, but I really can appreciate the fever dream that kicks me out.
Like, the thing is, I didn't find this game, like, really frustrating. Like, they're platformers where the movement is awful and I just, like, constantly getting angry at it. I never found myself getting angry at this.
Yeah.
It's just bad. It doesn't necessarily... I mean, the music made me hate it. I guess the backgrounds make you hate it, but...
I don't hate the music. I gotta be honest. I, like... For a game that people are probably not gonna play for more than, like, 5 minutes the first time that they play it, the music is weird, but it is, like, sufficiently... It's got sufficient amount of variety in it that, like... For 5 minutes, I'd put up with it.
Oh, sure. I think that the idea is this is a casual game that you only play for a few minutes at a time. Making people play it for an hour is...
You joked
really
about giving this as an endurance round, and let me just tell you, you might not be a GM next year if that would have happened. Like, not necessarily based off of my call, but I'm sure that some people could have made that call.
I mean, frankly, I'm surprised I'm still GMing after all the stuff I give out and all the lives I've ruined.
All the lives. Hoo-hee, hoo-hee-hee-hee-hee.
But no, actually, like, some of the games that I've given out, one of them's going to be in AGDQ. Well, at least it's on backup, I think.
Oh,
Hopefully
yeah.
it's gonna
Which
be
one
in.
is that, Sabor?
Sabor, yeah.
Yeah, I know Ritz Blues let me know and was like, hey, if this happens to, like, get out of the backup list for one reason or another, you want to do commentary? I'm like, I sure would.
Yeah.
I love me a good Sabor. Yeah, it's strange. Like, I think it's so funny that Sabor has, like, it's notable enough. That's it. It's notable enough. It's got the what the heck factor to it. Like, I wouldn't say it's necessarily, like, the most enthralling bad game out there, but it's, like, occasionally you stumble across something that really is both bizarre, but also has a lot that it adds to, like, folklore preservation. Like, it's got some cultural things that I never knew about relating to a sort of Slavic culture. I love it. I think it's fascinating.
Yeah, same. I'm really glad if it gets in that a lot of Western and like American and Asian audience will get to learn a lot about it, about the culture. It's really neat. And also Yoho Yoho got speedrun. I think Jangle Storm did that.
Yeah.
That was one that I gave out as well. Although I think he was already familiar with it.
Was Cybergenic Ranger your fault?
No.
Okay.
That one was not.
Well, I mean, it feels like it was your fault.
You can just blame everything on me. That's fine.
Yeah, mind you, there are plenty of your faults that have ended up in various marathons. That's what we're trying to do: spread the love, spread the flower power, and help people realize that there's a whole world outside. You know, Okay.
I'm also somewhat responsible for introducing a lot of people to the world of Dontrell Murphy.
Yeah, which I'm glad that I've been able to dig a little bit deeper into that, and that we had Dove Like Crusaders 3D on the GDQ channel for the Cursed episode. That was a lot of fun.
I loved watching that. It was great.
Oh my gosh. Honestly, like, I'm not convinced. No, it is bad, but not like because of a lack of effort. It's bad. It's just not. It's outsider art, is what I would say. It's somebody who didn't know like how to do video game design, creating a video game, and it's wonderful because of that. I love it, and you know, it's got enough passion in it that I feel like the creator really enjoys their game and their universe, and that's really more important than having random people who stumble across your game enjoy it. I can simultaneously say that a game is bad and still love it. I can also simultaneously hate a game and still love that it exists. Like this game, it's very hateable. But
yes,
it's still something that I'm really glad, like, it was made. I know that I'm hesitating with the words that I'm saying here. No, I am glad that it was made.
I mean, like, this is, I've had a couple of Dutch games before, but the Netherlands didn't have quite as vibrant of a gaming industry as some other countries did at this time. So it was really neat to see people just independently doing stuff like this.
Yeah, and even this had to be a lot of work to put together, you know? Like, I'm just imagining there are currently tools on like Game Maker Studio that allow you to create smooth flowing tiles and lines that flow into each other, but every single shift in this maze, you know, for what connects to another thing, you had to put in the work to make sure that, like, all of the lines flowed into each other so that, you know, it had a coherent visible indication for where you can move, but also like kept everything looks really smooth in this. Yes, it's hideous to look at. It hurts. But the lines work the way that they're supposed to.
So, like, part of this is, like, I think just asset selection. I mean, I assume that he didn't just make all of these backgrounds himself, and, you know, there's some public domain type of things. So it was just whatever was available. I would have done a better job picking these backgrounds,
Chad,
perhaps, but
I think anybody would have done a better job picking the back. Well, almost anybody. Maybe not Dontrell, but like seriously, it's not hard to look at this and say this actually hurts. I feel like the painful nature here adds to the experience, for better or for worse. I mean, like, come on, hippies, sort of a psychedelic style in art, and like the absolute clashing of visual styles here, I think is part of the experience, you know? I feel like, yes, you could have technically made it less painful to look at and less hooting, but would it really be the same game if you got rid of those?
Well, no. But what I was kind of getting at is, I think that the skill that went into this from the developer is the good part of this game, and the bad parts are things that were basically probably just selecting assets. But like, it does what it's supposed to.
Yeah, this, like, okay, if this appeared as a mini game in Hypnospace Traveler,
Yeah.
I would not have been surprised. This is absolutely a game that could have appeared as a mini game in Hypnospace.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I mean, this is like, y'all, if you didn't get to do much early internet stuff, this is what it felt like a lot of the time. Like when you discovered people's websites, like either this or...
He has some Flash games as well, but I don't know how to get those to work now.
Yeah.
Or if they still exist.
Maybe I'm just throwing, like, I don't think I'm doing early internet justice right now by saying this is what it was like, but it really did feel like this.
I've been re-experiencing early internet with Internet Explorer on my new Windows 98 machine. I found 2 websites that work so far.
I love that. Yeah, people, if you're wondering, I know that there's some people out there who are sad that Flash is gone from online stuff, but there has been a huge push to preserve Flash games. Flashpoint, very cool project that some people have worked on, and there are just so many games on that. And like, honestly, it could probably take a lifetime to go through everything that is on Flashpoint. There's so much.
That would not be a very happy lifetime.
It
but
depends. If you really just enjoy coming through random Flash stuff, it is a really
I
cool
do.
thing. Yeah, I do as well.
was really impressed recently. I saw a couple months ago someone playing Winnie the Pooh Baseball, which was a Flash game. And
I
it was,
played that back in the day when it came
Yeah.
out. It is impossible.
It is,
Yeah.
but it is fun to try.
Oh, yeah. Everybody, if you've never played the Winnie the Pooh baseball game, it is possibly the hardest game that has ever been made. Unironically, it might be the hardest game ever made. Just saying. Christopher
played it,
Robin. Yeah, I played it during the meme days, okay? I loved it. Yeah, so highly recommended.
All right, so we are closing in on the home stretch here. There's probably enough time for maybe 2 more runs from each of these players. But Mazra's on a tear. 1 more life. 4,300 is a really good position to be in.
Thank you, Professor Ness, for subscribing. I do see that Recursioning did as well, and we had a follow earlier. Honestly, everybody watching and supporting you are the reasons why we're able to have so many weird games here. And like, you know, a lot of people go through and put in effort to preserve games, and a big question is anybody actually going to play them and experience them? And this tournament sort of gives us that chance every once in a while to actually put things on full display. This is something that, once you've played for about 30 seconds, you've experienced the basis of the game. You know what the game is all about. But trying to actually dominate and make progress in a game like this is something that most people are not going to do.
That's why we force them.
That's why we force them to. And having an hour of a game that most people are not going to experience, I love it.
Yeah, I do too. And the existence of Kusog7ande is really what motivates me to do a lot of my software archaeology and find this stuff, because I know that it will get a viewing and it'll get people playing it. So it's not just me finding something somewhere and uploading it somewhere else.
Yeah. Somebody is saying because we forced some people to play Lost in Plantinus, we found out the preserved version had a bug, specifically making it so that you couldn't get past World 2. And then the dev patched the game specifically for the Kusog7ande community, okay? This is a game that had not been altered in 30 years or so. He fixed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And because of that, we were able to go and actually see what the rest of the game had to offer. And it's so freaking cool. I wish, I don't know, they didn't have to do that, but they did, because somebody was interested. We're the weird oddball community that actually really loves to see the strangeness that comes out. And this game, I would prefer this over every freaking Tetris clone out there, except for Pyramid, because Pyramid is just whoa. And Kentris, okay? Kentris is absolutely perfect in every way. And I would rather play Kentris than most Tetris clones. But just having the same thing over and over and over and over and over again gets really tiring. This is just weird. And I love it.
You have no idea. When I go through these shareware CDs, which have 800 games on them, and how many Tetris clones I have to look at before I get to a gem like this.
I wouldn't be surprised because I've done it, Jeff.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, simply put, I've been going through the Atari 800 library, and about 20% of all the games are just a pinball game.
Yeah.
Based off of the same pinball engine, which honestly is kind of cool as well to see how many are Jesus and how many are lewd. Because you a lot of the pinball tables are either Christian themed or naked body themed, and it gives you an idea of what was on people's minds when they were making those. There's not very much lewd Jesus out there. You'd be surprised. There's not much crossover between the two pinball table creators, but even things like that are just crappy, hey, guess what, I made a lewd pinball table, that's still important culturally, because it tells you what people, amateur video game creators, were thinking.
Yeah, I mean, it's a sort of a joke about the PC-98 that everything is an Office app or porn or both. But it does tell you something about that, the culture at the time that emerged around the PC-98.
Yeah, it's an important part of the culture. And this game is preserving something that I don't think was really something that we thought needed to be preserved, and now we have it. This speaks a lot about the artist and possibly a little bit about the culture around what made this art get made. Yeah, so that's what preservation is all about. The end. Well, that's the end of this music. I can turn it off unless you want me to crank it up. Oh, we're cranking it up in time.
2922 from Nodelecta.
Yay.
I think Mazre was like 4,000 something.
I have no idea. I did not keep track at all.
Well, that's okay.
Yeah,
you don't
because
need to.
other people did.
Well, no, because it has the high scores here.
Oh, yeah, high scores, everybody. Look at this. We've got censored on the top right.
I think that's top. I think that's going to be...
I don't think anybody beat 5,000, yeah.
Yeah, so it's probably going to be Mazre. I guess Rhythm needs to...
Yeah, Rhythm Bastard, you need to get game over so I can see your high score table. Yeah.
Oh, maybe he's just finishing up this game by dying a bunch.
I think June... Maybe.
I don't know.
Rhythm Bastard.
Yeah. Let him know.
Yeah, go ahead and let them know. Yeah, so we're just waiting for Rhythm Bastard to get back to the high score screen so that we can see that, because we would really like... there we go. There's a game over button? Maybe.
I guess.
Cool. Well, I think that spells it out, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Mazre takes the victory with 5,045 points.
Jumi was 4634.
Is that a 4 at the beginning? I think it's a 4 at the beginning.
It is definitely a 4.
And then Rhythm Bastard in 3rd and Nodelecta in 4th. Unfortunately, Rhythm Bastard and Nodelecta are eliminated, but Mazre is our victor today. You'll have to let them know. Let me invite Mazre to come and chat. Come and chat if you'd like, because I would love to hear some thoughts about this game. Yeah, and there's always work going in. It appears to be Mazre, Jumi, Rhythm, then Nodelecta. Honestly, there's no shame getting eliminated due to this game. This is a game that was not made for human consumption. No, JK. He tried to get humans to consume it, and the humans said no. Mystery to me, thank you for gifting the sub over to our friend there, TK. Very much appreciated. Hello there, Mazre. Congratulations on taking the victory today.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Whew.
You okay?
Yeah, no, it was just that was a lot more patience than I was expecting for a maze type game like that.
Uh-oh. Yeah, like, honestly, I love that we've got this game preserved. I feel like there are more people who watched this game today than have ever played this game in the past, just because of how much work Jeff put into making this game actually playable. I don't know how much work that was, but apparently it was more than usual.
It was a lot of work, yeah.
Yeah. So I have to ask about this game. What are your thoughts about this maze game?
The power mechanic was somewhat different from say your Pac-Mans, or I'm having trouble thinking of other type games where you're running around just a static maze like that. And then so that seemed to kill me a lot more than the cop did. The way the maze shifts was really strange too, because you're kind of at its mercy for, you have to kind of just take what it gives you and not be too greedy or not get too impatient and try and mash the swap or whatever, because that drains so much power so quickly that you're just gonna kill yourself and not be able to traverse the entire map. So it was kind of interesting once you started to pick that up, and the fact that the point, at least in the early part of the game, are worth a lot more than the flowers are. I think the flowers were giving me more points towards the later parts of the run, but that wasn't immediately obvious. So it was kind of like you got to be patient and kind of not run through the stage too fast, but not too slow. There was kind of a lot of really figuring this one out to find a way to not just constantly burn yourself out in terms of the power mechanic.
Yeah, I noticed early on people were getting a lot of game overs because of the power mechanic. It's a blessing and a curse, really.
Right.
But I think that if people were able to stack up some of the power on stages, I saw people with 2 full bars at times when they began a new level. If you were able to do that, you could be a little bit more liberal with the use, but as soon as you start using it too much, you're going to get into a situation where you're just walled and destroyed by it. Yeah, it had a strange amount of patience, but also just not being greedy. Just I guess this is all a hippie game, just chill.
I think it's really interesting how much strategy and subtlety there was to figuring that out, because at first glance it just looks like you just move around and get things.
Yeah, exactly. I think the one other tidbit I kind of teased out of the game was that I don't think the maze would change on the node you were on or the node that the cop was on, or basically while you were moving between a node. So you kind of had to hang back a node to wait for something to change in a favorable fashion a lot of times. Yeah. And then hope that something else didn't close you off before you got in and got out and did what you wanted to do.
Somebody's actually saying Rhythm Bastard said that if this was a game on Newgrounds, they'd dig it. And I sort of do get that vibe. It's a game that it's a bite-sized game, go and play it a little bit. And it's not something that you'd expect to play for a full hour, honestly. And so it's kind of fascinating to me to see what happens with a game that people are going to play for a very short amount of time in normal situations, but have to learn how to play the meta game around it in a full hour. And you managed to do that pretty well. I do think that you have played in various mystery tournaments before, though. Am I right to say that?
Just Kusog7ande.
Just Kusog7ande, yeah.
Yep.
Compared to other Kusog7ande games that you've gotten, though, where does this rank? Quality-wise, high up there, down low, too slow?
Pretty middle of the road, I would say.
Okay.
It was mostly playable. Aside from only having the one music track, there was at least something, and the fact that the synthetic wheezing portion of it was not great, but the rest of the portions of it, the bass line and the drums, those were actually pretty good.
I kind of liked it. Yeah, the voice lines weren't as good, but it didn't bother me as much as Jeff said that it would.
Right. When you're focusing on everything else that's going on in the game, it kind of fades into the background. You just kind of dip into the rhythm of the game, basically.
Okay. Yeah. Is this something that you think you would ever just start up again just to dink around with, or never again delete?
No, never.
Okay. Well, with that said, this is going to be one of the first videos ever uploaded to YouTube with this game. So congratulations, you are the star of all time when it comes to this game.
How ignominious.
Yeah. Hey, honestly, I'm a huge believer that video games have to be played to be preserved, and so
Absolutely.
yeah, you four who got to subject yourselves to this are an important part of this specific game's preservation. So congratulations. Yeah, with that said, are you streaming anything over at your channel and doing anything else that's interesting?
No, not really. This is about the most that I do these days.
Oh, okay. Well, that's completely fine. Seriously, great job there. I suppose we'll go ahead and let you go. Jeff, thank you as well. This has been a lot of fun.
Thank you for having me once again, and shout outs to Blasphemous Roar and Corndan for testing this out for me, and all the other GMs that watched and gave feedback.
I
really
watched a
appreciate
little
it.
bit, but I was really more interested in not watching.
Yeah, no, I'm not giving you any shout outs.
Wow. Okay, I see how it is. Okay, thank you too. I'll see you later. Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Well, everybody, we've got 2 more matches today. Yeah, we thought that you thought it was over. Well, you didn't look at the schedule then, exclamation point. Schedule? I'm pretty sure that's where it is. You can go and see what we have. We've got 2 more games today, and we've got 4 games tomorrow. I'm going to run a quick ad because I need to run to the little Brosentia's room. And then I will be right back with 2 more matches. Stay tuned, everybody.